to the cage.
I knew it.
Oh, they got me.
Good luck in there. My co-host is now going to enter the cage.
He says he's injured. I don't know. I think he's faking it. This is the man right here. Oh, you guys are too nice. This is the man you're going to be facing at some point for that title. He's rehabbing right now. What do you think of the current champion, the Lorax?
He's actually one of my good friends. He trains with me.
So what's that fight going to be like? How's that going to work out? Is that something you're willing to do, to fight your friend and your training partner?
I don't want to do fight a stranger. I don't been through a moment. I don't want to hurt him. They're all fighters, you know. He's definitely one of my friends that train together a lot. That'd be really hard for me.
All right, hold on. Now let me ask the Lorax. And hit the good shoulder. I keep on hitting your bad shoulder. This is your training partner over here. This is somebody you train with, somebody you like. Are you willing to defend your title against him to unify those titles?
I'll tell you what, when I walked in here and talked to Scott, I said, Scott, I don't want to play that. Scott, I don't want to play that. I walked away. Scott, I don't want to play that. And looks like we're going to fight out.
And let's get a face-off here just for the heck of it. Let's get a face-off between these two fighters right here in front of this camera. There we go. Give it up for your featherweight champions right here, Travis Lorax and Adam Ronson. There we go.
That is a hell of a fight in the making right there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have just one fight left. Are we doing a fight of the night, Mr. Danny James?
Oh, wow.
Well, let's do it right now then. We want to do our fight of the night, man. We give out one of the best fight of the night awards of any other show. Darren James here from Diamond Thieves, based in Asheville and Marion, are giving out, some awesome tattoos here. And I have a feeling I might know what the fight's going to be, but I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. So, who's it going to be here? Who are you pointing at? Right here? Who?
I don't know. Who do you have for this fight of the night?
Come on.
You know, the Tim Parker fight was excellent.
I think the Grasso-Henning fight was a good fight, too.
An amazing fight. That was the best one to start off Freedom Fighter in a while. That was an amazing back and forth fight.
Right.
Hey, so who's our fighter tonight here?
Who do we got? Oh, yep. Brandon Barrett, Tim Parker. Heck of a fight. I
Cannot say I disagree with that decision at all. It's a wonderful decision. Wonderful fight.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of how we had it. It was between those two, between the Henning fight and the Barrett fight.
We're so smart.
Great minds think alike. So do we.
What do you think about that?
But by logic, if great minds think alike,
are you seeing what I'm seeing right
Was
now?
that not the most tense fight that you've ever seen in your life?
oh, sorry, I had to put my tongue back in my mouth. Excuse me.
There he is. Let's get him over here. Tim Parker and Brandon Barrett, one of the best fights that we've seen here in the USFFC. Let's get a picture opportunity here, man.
I wonder if I got blood on my shirt from that hug earlier.
There we go. How about
Wow.
this? What do they got?
Man, Adam made quick work of that fight, didn't he?
Are you feeling a little intimidated right now, Travis? You got to remember punch power, man. Come on. You know to avoid the ground game. It's going to be a good fight to talk about.
I just don't want to fight anybody that I like. That's something that I've always expressed, and I've been very fortunate in being able to avoid it. I fought somebody that I've definitely fought people that I've known, but not anybody as well as Adam. Maybe my shoulder won't be healed up for like another few months, Maybe someone will beat him in the meantime. I don't know.
to the main event of the night for the championship.
Coming to the Coastline Convention Center, Richard Van Bakeley's Battle in the South Championship Mixed Martial Arts presents Lucky 7, Friday, October 18th at the Coastline Convention Center. Get your tickets now online at battleinthesouth.net. That's Battle in
Frown lines, Botox. CompleteLaserClinic.com. Physician supervised weight loss program. Open 7 days a week. CompleteLaserClinic.com. Have the laser lipo procedure and go back to work the same day. CompleteLaserClinic.com. Multiple locations in North Carolina. CompleteLaserClinic.com.
All right, welcome back to U.S. Freedom Fighter Championships. It is now time for the main event of the evening. Patrick Ward, who's about to make his way into the cage, is going to take on Dustin Messer, who handed him his only loss, his only defeat to date.
That was his debut fight, correct?
I believe so. I'm not 100% on that. But Patrick Ward has made strides since that fight and has looked very impressive. And he's a huge guy for 185.
Oh, yeah, he's big. They call him the Colossus for a reason.
I believe he's around 6'2", fights 185, who is the complete opposite of Dustin Messer, who's maybe 5'7", and fights 185.
Yeah, you know, height and body mass and just so much of it is being able to use the tools that God has given you. And a lot of the times, you know, if you're a really long guy and you're big, you know, it might make sense to try to stay away from people and keep your size kind of keep it on your side, because when you're really big and you start grappling, your pockets are a lot bigger than a small guy's pocket. So, you know, if you're 6 inches, 7 inches taller than somebody, you know, when you put your triangle on, your triangle is going to be looser than somebody that's, you know, 8 inches shorter than you. Just like somebody hits a duck under on you, you've got a lot more distance from your shoulder to your elbow than what somebody who's 6 inches shorter than you. You know, there's a lot of trade-offs, and if you can't use that to your advantage, you know, you're really messing up. Sometimes there's something that I learned from Noel Lobin, who was one of my coaches. He's an Olympic silver medalist. Is he was not a real big cradle guy when he was a wrestler until he started getting into the higher levels. And the reason is because he has really long appendages and he's really good at getting cradles. Not necessarily that he likes the technique, but it's effective. And while a Superman punch is awesome, a straight right, if you got a straight right, is going to be pretty awesome too if it lands.
It's not always the flashy techniques, as you mentioned. It's what's going to work in your advantage for this fight specifically. I'm looking for Ward to try and stay on the outside. He has very good straight punches, and he has powerful straight punches. And Messer being a shorter fighter and at the reach disadvantage, I'm looking for him to stay on the outside, work his wrestling a little bit, and throw those straight punches. Whereas Messer is very brawler-esque, throwing wide looping punches, which will work for him in this fight, as they can come over Ward's punches, and Messer has a great ground game.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to see, because this was very early on in both their careers when they fought each other the first time, and you know, fighters really train and hone their skills along the way, especially if we're having a matchup where they fought before in the same for the same promotion. You're not going to fight the same guy back to back at a quality promotion like USFFC.
I think that's exactly what Scott saw, development in both fighters, and he put this together. This is going to be one hell of a rematch.
You know, they both want it. Well, sometimes. I think the guy that wins is not always reluctant for a rematch, but he's not really shying away from it either at the same time, where the guy that lost is always, if he wants a rematch, he's always feeling like he got cheated somehow, or he made an error and
He can fix it.
Yeah, and it's usually not that simple.
See, I'm sure, in some people's minds, after they defeat somebody, they think it's a give-me fight. But there's been so much time in between these two guys' last fight. Patrick Ward hasn't lost a single fight except to Dustin Messer. In his mind, he is avenging that loss. Dustin Messer may be looking as, maybe I can do that again. Either way, I'm fighting for a belt, and I don't care.
Oh yeah, they're both some of the more experienced guys on the card. As we said earlier, Adam Ronsick's a very experienced fighter. Brandon Grimmett's a very experienced fighter. Marcus Sylvester's a very experienced fighter. But as far as like a matchup between two guys, this is a very quality matchup as far as skill and technique goes. I'll tell you what, I was a whole different animal my fourth fight from my first fight. Not to say that I didn't lose, but I was a whole different animal.
In the glove touch. Dustin Messer trying to close the distance there. Like we said, the straight punches coming from Ward. Messer's wilder style is paying him dividends right now.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be a grappler and close the position, but Ward having both double underhooks and having the body lock. Oh, the body lock was broke.
Oh, Dustin Messer works, and it pays off.
Finishing that sweep single.
Do you feel maybe Dustin is more anxious to get this to the ground than Ward, where he has defeated him before on the ground?
Oh, absolutely. And you could really see it in the fact that Messer was really just trying to take this to the ground. And right there, he did a great job.
Oh, Patrick rolls him over. Very nice. And
oh,
Dustin
and
Messer has the back
again.
for a second. This is some crazy scrambling we're seeing here.
This is great, guys. It's always nice to see when two guys will slap hands after a good exchange or a good roll, just to let each other know that, hey, we respect each other right now. Messer's really not trying to throw a lot of strikes right now, and Ward's really trying to feel him out with those range finders.
Feels like Messer may be trying to set up a takedown. Big overhand right.
That was nice. Messer has him against the cage, though, isn't really finishing that takedown.
I actually saw Ward's hands come down to maybe stop a takedown, and then he ate a punch.
We almost saw a rack. That would have been the torture rack.
Ouch. I'm seeing Messer's head get crunched down here. It's not a choke, but it looks a little painful. Some nice knees from Ward here. Oh, and Messer shoots from way out.
Yep, shoots that double leg in hard. He's getting stuffed on the takedown, though. Ward's got a nice body lock and is starting to dig into the ribs. Ward really has to kind of stuff one of those hands and kind of like break it to pass him or maybe even try to keep hipping in. But Messer, just being a little bit shorter and a little bit stockier, has the deadlift advantage. Ward is definitely throwing punches.
Oh, Messer's fighting with his hands down.
Messer's
We've
eating
seen
a
him
lot
eat
of
these
punches.
Before. The Fresh Prince actually knocked out Dustin Messer when he dropped his hands like that, and he got rocked. Patrick Ward's looking for the finish here. Big hammer fist.
Messer is definitely.
Oh, these are landing
hard.
It's
over.
That is a complete knockout, and Patrick Ward avenges his only loss to go 3-1 tonight.
Wow. Patrick has to feel good about that one.
That was a definitive victory right there, and we hope Dustin Messer is all right. Dustin Messer is starting to regain consciousness here.
Hey, Tommy.
And Patrick Ward puts a big stamp on that win, a knockout victory here in the first round to claim the 185 USFFC championship title.
All right.
This fight stops at 2:46 in the first round. Your winner by knockout and new USFFC middleweight champion, Patrick the Colossus Ward.
Very impressive performance here.
As we crown our champion. Wow, Patrick's come a long way.
I'm going to agree with you there. He's really developed as a fighter and as a person, I'm sure, to come out here and fight somebody that's defeated you before. And almost had him in the back mount there. That had to be a little bit scary for Ward. He's thinking to himself, I'm not going to lose this the same way twice. Turns it around, lands some heavy hands, puts away Dustin Messer.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when you're in a position to win and you lose it that quick, just like that.
Thank you very much. Looks like you're going to have another spot in the Dirty Dozen Club of the Week contest. Congratulations on that KO. And what's next for you? Obviously, you want to defend that title. You got any plans?
Keep training. Keep getting better. That's it.
Congratulations, the Colossus. Guys, make some noise one more time for Patrick Ward. You middleweight champion.
All right, guys, we'd like to thank you for coming out.
All right, and welcome back to the U.S. Freedom Fighter Championship 14. We brought this live to you from Club Hush in Charlotte. This was a fantastic fight card. We had a lot of great fights. We started off the night with an impressive performance from John Henning and Anthony Grasso. Grasso earning his first win. Could have been fight of the night, and that is how you kick off a card. What else were you looking at, Travis? That was a lot of great fights here, a lot of great finishes here tonight.
Man, I'll tell you what, the way that Josh Smith was working James Goodwin, how he was in a submission position several times and got off to just basically try to work his striking. I remember that quite a bit. That stuck in my mind. Another thing that really stuck in my mind was the Roger Stone Adam Ronsick fight. A lot of people don't give Adam credit because he's got so many losses. His record's so upside down. The deal is people don't. They try to fight Adam on their feet and they're successful. They try to fight Adam on the ground and it does not work. He just wraps people up and they don't know how to defend. It's very unorthodox on the ground, and he really needs to use that more. I think he'd be a little more successful, but you know what? He wants to prove the Taekwondo's still in there, so we'll let him have it.
And then we ended the night with a fantastic fight featuring Patrick Ward and Dustin Messer for the 185 title. A great rematch where Dustin Messer took the first by rear naked choke. And tonight, Patrick Ward flips history on its heels, and he says no with a big KO. That rhymed. That was on purpose.
Nice analytics.
From everybody here, Chaz, Evan, everybody in the back, Travis, and Matt Probin joined me for a little bit, a great British guy. Check out both these guys out on the fight circuit. I'm Anthony Wyatt, and we're out.
All right, thanks, guys, for joining us.